Hello and welcome back to the Inventors Arena. I'm Ed, and today I have with me Rex, the inventor. So we're going to have a talk with Rex, the inventor, about his invention. So welcome, Rex. We're happy to have Rex here live on the Inventors Arena channel to share his thoughts and experiences as an inventor with our audience. So welcome. Maybe we can start off with you showing us your invention and we can get to know about you and your invention a little bit. Why don't you show the crowd, Rex?
All right, this is my invention that I come up with. And what it is, it's a marinade injector. And so you get the bag and it's already got all the marinade in it. You have a sleeve, you pull the needle out and the sleeve comes out. The sleeve is just to protect the bag during transporting and stuff like that.
That's the sleeve.
And then you slip the needle over and you slide the cap on and just screw it down. Then you stick it into your meat or your roast or your chicken or whatever and just squeeze the bag. There's no refill on the needle. There's none of that kind of business goes on. You just stick it in, squeeze the bag, and then you pull it out and stick it in another spot and give it a little bit more. When you're done with it, you just put the needle back in the sleeve, slide it back in, screw the lid on. And the way it's made is all these surfaces right here around the top, they all seal it back up. This one, the sleeve seals against the outside, so there's no leaking or anything like that.
Very good.
And you can put it back in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it again, so you don't have to use it all at one time. And most of your marinades and stuff are going to be pretty acidic, so it'll last quite a while in the refrigerator.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that looks good. So it could be kind of a one-off. You can buy it off the shelf like that, or it could even be probably hanging at the end of the store shelf.
Yeah.
And
another thing it works good for too is you can inject fruit and vegetables with wine or booze if you want, for like oranges or watermelon or whatever. You can also get it with that, and you can inject your fruit and vegetables and stuff like that with wine to just spice things up a little bit. Sure. I've done that. It's been pretty fun.
That's good. Yeah, it's good that you share your experiences, because it's really valuable to others because they can start to kind of get a grip on how they might do their journey, right? And everybody's journey is different, but it's always interesting. And that's what we try to show the audience is, here's one example of it, and yours might be entirely different, but it might be quite the same, right?
Well, yeah, I think with any invention that you have, it's always subject to change as you go. Yeah. I mean, it's a process. It just doesn't happen overnight. And as you're going through the process, you learn things that work better or ways to improve it or other uses for it. Like I said, I used it originally was for marinating meat, but then also figured out, hey, guess what? You can inject vodka into oranges or into watermelons and stuff like that. And so you'll find other uses for it too sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about yourself. We always think when you're being an inventor that your product is super important, your invention, but you as the inventor, right? Especially if you're doing pitches on it, people want to know especially if it's an investor, they want to know, okay, tell me about the invention, the product itself, but also about Rex. So maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about yourself and kind of a little bit of your history and how you came up with the idea.
All right. Well, originally I was born and raised up in Colorado and grew up living off of game meat mainly. That was our main food source, and farming and raising and hunting. And so I've been, I'm an avid outdoorsman and have been for most all of my life. And so anyway, that's one of the reasons that I'd gotten into the whole idea was I was cooking some game meat and decided that I wanted to come up with a better way of doing it. I was originally went through high school and lived in Colorado most as a kid growing up, and not too long out of high school, and I moved to Arizona, and I've been down here for about 40 years now. And I started doing had a body shop, and started building a lot of custom cars and stuff. And when you start building custom cars, you're always trying to make parts and tools. And then, so there's a lot of inventing goes on in building street rods and stuff too. So that's pretty much mostly my background. And in the process of doing that, I was had gotten some game meat and I was marinating it, and I came up with this idea. And so when I decided that I wanted to get it patented, there was a big learning curve on that. I knew it was a good idea. I knew that it was something that was, something that needed to be out there to improve what the existing products were. So I started getting into searching out patent lawyers and figuring that stuff out. And in the process of that, I learned a lot about patenting.
Yeah, you learned how to do like a patent search.
Learned how to do a patent search and what the whole process is, because the guy that I ran into that started helping me with it wouldn't just do it for me. So he's like, hey, here's what you got to do. And I'm really grateful for that, because he did definitely help me a lot and giving me direction, but not just doing it for me. And pushing me along too. That was a real important, because it's easy to just go, this is too much, and not stay devoted to it. But so anyway, I've done that. And so I'm really happy about where I've gotten to. And like I said, I've gone through this process. I've had, 8 or 10, maybe 15 prototypes. And as you go on, you start learning that you got to just stick with it and keep after it. And if something doesn't work, you got to try something else. And in the process of getting involved in the patent work and stuff like that, and learning the patent stuff, then I started learning how to do drawings and doing a little bit of writing and doing 2D drawings and 3D drawings. And so there's a lot of other stuff that you can learn as you're in the process of doing it, that is basically very helpful to yourself, versus, shelling out the money, because it can get really expensive if you're going to shell out the money to have somebody else do everything for you. And I've never been a wealthy guy, so I've just had to kind of figure things out myself. And so that's exactly what I've done. And I've worked real hard at it and stuck with it.
Yeah, that's super good. And like you say, you get some encouragement along the way, because it's not an easy road, and it gets expensive, and a person gets a little discouraged when things don't always go right. And you go in there thinking, your first prototype's going to be that's going to be easy peasy. And it's never that way generally anyway. And when you get to that point, Rex even took the program that we offer. And so a lot of the stuff he'd already learned, but in fact, he wrote such good provisional that we use it as a sample copy. So thanks for doing that, because it's an example to the students of Inventors Arena. And Rex along the way has developed all kinds of skills. Like you mentioned, 2D drawing, he can do that really good. And a lot of the skills he's learned are very handy for all kinds of stuff. It's not just for patenting, for inventing, but, just learning stuff along the way and meeting different people. And so that's good. I'm glad that you enjoyed the class, and we did all kinds of stuff in it. And like you say, it's always a journey, and even down to things like, maybe you talk about your trademark there. And
that's
branding.
Things that when you first start doing it, there's so much that you don't really know that you got to do. And that's why I keep saying over and over, is it's a process that you go through, and you learn different things that, I got a cool little thing here, but now what? I got to get a patent for it, so somebody else doesn't steal my idea. And so then you start that process, and then it becomes what do I do about getting it marketed or licensed or something like that? Well, what's it called? So then you got to come up with the name. So then you start having to look into getting some artwork done and things of that nature, so that you can brand it and have a name brand and have something that's recognizable. If you're going to put it on a shelf somewhere, then, you want to have a name. And so you want to kind of try to think of a good name that's not too outrageous, but it's something that'll...
it's catchy, memorable.
It'll be a little catchy, yeah. And because of the fact that we kind of got into the, infusing meat with flavors and stuff like that, that's how I come up with the N-Fusor name. And so then, you got a name for it. Well, big deal. Now you got to... What good's it do if you don't have a way to market or get it out in the public can see it?
Yeah, and get a logo.
Well, guess what? Then you got to go and get a website built. You got to do a website. So I ended up finding a guy to help me with a website, and I got a website done. It's called www.infusor.com. N-Fusor.com. And if you want to look at the thing and go online, you can check it out. I do have a website. I think that's extremely important, especially in today's, day and age.
Exposure.
I mean, yeah, you got to have it. And so then you can get, and then it depends on what you want to do with your product as far as whether you're trying to get it licensed or if you're going to market it and sell it as individual, and things like that. So those are some things that you're going to have to think about and make decisions on, and what's practical and what's not practical.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, there's so much.
But having somebody that can kind of guide you in that, like Ed and
Scott. Yeah.
Ed and Scott is a huge help, because those guys really know, and they've showed me a lot of stuff that I would never even have thought of, and why. It's not just a matter of, well, you got to do this, but they'll explain to you why it's important that you do that. And so if you're doing something blindly, then it's easy to lose track of what you're doing or lose interest in it. But if you have a reason for it that you didn't really understand before, but someone can explain it to you, then it gives you a lot more motivation to really push yourself and push forward in what you're trying to do.
Yeah, a lot of times I think people try to know everything themselves, and that's just really quite unrealistic, because it's just so much the skill set that you need. Even just one of the things, doing 2D drawings, like people make a living from just doing 2D drawings or 3D drawings or making logos or whatever. So that's why we made it so it's step by step, so that you can follow it and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And actually, Rex is to the point where he's looking for some funding for this, I think.
Yeah, and on that topic right there, it's something that I would like to point out, is the fact that when you're going through the process, it's really easy to do what I call squirreling. So you'll do this for a minute, and then you'll go, oh, well, I've got to do this. And so pretty soon you're doing a little bit here, a little bit there, and nothing's getting done. That's one of the things that I will definitely say, as far as you and Scott are concerned, is you give you a plan, a direction. Okay, this is the process that you need to go through, and you're not jumping around aimlessly, because that was one of the problems that I had for the longest time, is I was do this and then do that, but there was no rhythm to it.
Yeah.
And I think having the rhythm and having the guidance is extremely important. It sure has helped me a lot. I do know that.
That's good. Yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to see the success stories, and I sure hope you get some luck with licensing. You're looking at licensing it or getting some investment funding. And
right. That's kind of my goal. Is ideally I'd like to license it, because I got a lot of other ideas, and so I'd like to be able to,
cash that on one and play on some others.
Yeah, make a little money, and that would free me up to where I don't have to work so hard every day, and I could have a little extra income coming in that would free me up to be able to work towards some of the other ideas that I have. I mean, obviously, when you're getting prototyping done and getting the web pages built and the artwork done, I mean, that stuff costs money. I mean, it's not, nobody's doing it for free. There's a lot that you can do yourself, but you can't do it all.
Yeah,
you just can't do it all. So you can learn to do a lot of it, but it's important to be able to realize that you just can't do all of it. You got to have some help somewhere. And so that's one of the things that I think that you and Scott have been really helpful in, is making me realize that, no, you're wasting too much time trying to do something you don't know nothing about,
But you can learn, and you can do, as long as you keep rolling with it. It's a means to an end, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I've always been very impressed. That's why we used it for the sample. And if anybody is looking to get more information on it, by all means, look at www.n as in Nancy Fusor FUSOR.com. There's all kinds of information on there. It's a very interesting story. And, Rex is looking to license it. So
I'll hold it up there where you can see the QR code.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll.
Good. Yeah, and they'll be able to go to the website there. So, yeah. So That is ideal. So thanks a lot for sharing that story with us. And so one of the things now will put me in the inventor's chair for a minute, because we invented a game for inventors about how to teach them how to invent. So we played that a little while ago, and so there was a group of local inventors playing the game for Inventors Arena program. We offered on there. So Rex, what was your thoughts on the game? What was your takeaway from it?
I thought it was really cool. I definitely, again, it's been developed a lot from the beginning.
Sure has.
Again, it's a process that you go through. Your first idea is never going to be your own. I wouldn't say never, but I mean, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. But the chances of being able to hit the nail on the head at your first swing at an invention is pretty difficult.
So what do you think
when you did the game thing, when I first played it the first time, it was a little confusing. But then as we all played it, it was a refining process that we went through. And now I think it's actually a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's very informative, but it's like I said, there was some stumbling blocks along the way, but that's the invention process. I mean, that's all.
It sure is.
It's all part of it. But look, you stuck with it, and you made the changes when they were needed, but reaching out to people and getting opinions and honest opinions and is real important. And so the game is actually a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It is very educational.
Yeah.
And I've actually learned a lot from just playing the game.
Yeah, that's good, because that's the whole intent of it, is to have fun. And in the beginning, like Rex is mentioning, there's iterations of it, right? So you make a game, and then the tendency is to make it quite serious, and so that everybody's learning a lot of all ranges, of a person that doesn't know anything about inventing to somebody who knows a lot about patents and inventing. And then we had to add in different layers. We developed the game board different ways, and we thought about all the shipping and all that. And so it took a bunch of refinement, and we just made it so it's good fun to play. And so we're going to take it out to different inventors groups and let them play with it and have a visit. And so that was fun. Well, appreciate your critique on that. And it's good. It's good, honest critique, right? Because like Rex says, it's never like, oh, you got it figured out first time.
That's the thing about this invention thing. You got to be honest with yourself and with the people that you're dealing with. I mean, honesty is extremely important. And as far as in anything that you're dealing with, not just in inventing, but I think being honest about who you are and what you're doing is an extremely important aspect of any.
Yeah, surround yourself with good people. You get a good team rolling. You can get a lot accomplished, and you're encouraging to each other. And so that is excellent. And we really, really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and kind of your experience, and not some fantasy, fairy tale about, oh, it just went perfect and now I'm a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. No, it's like the real struggles, right? And
it is.
And this is kind of the short version,
but it's also fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's challenging. It's a great adventure too. I mean, it beats sitting on the couch staring at your phone or Facebook or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot more entertaining.
That's right. Well, we're really glad you learned a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're glad you learned a lot, and it sounds like you enjoyed the game, so that's good. Thank you for your time, and I really hope that sharing your experience can help others, because that's our goal here on the channel, is to share real life experiences, real honest opinions and thoughts, and so that it benefits those who are learning and going through stuff, and so they know it's not like a bed of roses, that it's always perfect. It's it's just life, and it's fun, and it's challenging, and
it's
just make it through.
It's definitely fun.
And also, thanks for playing the game. We always need beta testers. We've developed a lot of different games since then, so that's been good. And we appreciate your feedback from taking, the Inventors Arena program, and really wish you good luck as you go. And thank you from our audience. And if anybody wants to check it out, check out Rex's invention again, N-Fusor.com. And as always, feel free to go to the inventorsarena.com. We always encourage you to go to inventors groups if you can. And if you have an invention experience and would like to share it with our audience or a pitch, just let us know in the comments. We'll be happy to let you on and talk it up a little bit. And kind of, we try to pick out stories that will edify all of our viewers. But anyway, we appreciate your comments and enjoy your day. Give a thumbs up if you feel like it, and go be your best inventor, your best you.
The Inventor.